Events are special rooms in Slay the Spire that you encounter when you click on a question mark. You're not guaranteed to get an event when you click on a question mark. There are other things you could get as well. Today's video is brought to you by Spirit Poop. It stinks. This is actually going to lead us into the first event, the Bonfire Spirit. As you approach further, you're given the opportunity to make a sacrifice, which in this case means you are going to offer a card from your deck. And based on what card you offer, you are going to get a certain kind of reward. If you offer a rare card, you're going to heal yourself to full hit points, and you're going to get plus 10 max HP. Offering an uncommon card will heal you to full. If you offer a common or a special card, that's going to heal 5 hit points of yours. And finally, if you offer a curse, you get Spirit Poop. The nice relic doesn't do anything, but it is unpleasant. Purifier is an event that you can find in Act 1, 2, or 3. If you don't want to remove a card, you can click Leave. If you do want to remove a card, you can remove any card, including curses. This is one of the rare events where you get all good and you don't have to pay anything back. Moving on, we're going to find the Winged Statue. It's found exclusively in Act 1. You always have the Prey option, which allows you to remove any card from your deck at the cost of 7 hit points. If you have a card that can deal 10 damage or more, then you can unlock the Destroy option, which gains you 50 to 80 gold. Another exclusive event to Act 1 is the Living Wall event. First of all, you can remove a card from your deck. This is a great way to get rid of curses. You can transform any card in your deck. That's a great way to get rid of strikes or defends if you want to take your chance to get something better. Or if you have a card that you really know you want to upgrade, you can get a free upgrade here as well. Next up, we have an event that you can find in any of the 3 acts. It's called a Note for Yourself. This event only shows up if you are playing an Ascension lower than the highest one you have unlocked. So if you're climbing Ascension levels, you will not see this event. What happens is you are given the option to store a card in the wall in the game, and it's going to stay there. So the first time you do this, you're just going to discard a card, it's going to put it in the wall, and you're going to forget about it. Until the next time you come by, that card, that very card, even if you're playing on a different character, is still going to be there in the wall. You can take that, and you can put something else back in. The Cleric is another Act 1 only event. You have one of 2 different options. Of course, you're going to have to pay this time. You can pay 35 gold to heal 25% of your max HP, or you can pay 50 or 75 gold on higher Ascension levels to remove a card from your deck. Of course, you once again have the option to just leave and do nothing. Moving on now, we're going to get into the events that offer you ways to gain more gold, either immediately or throughout your run. First up, we have the Golden Idol. This is another event that you only find in Act 1. This is one I would recommend you take every time, because when you take the Golden Idol, it adds a relic into your inventory, which makes enemies drop 25% more gold. And we all know gold is a really valuable resource in this game. So I would definitely take it, depending on how you're playing and what you have coming up. If you want to take the curse, you can always get rid of that at a shop or another event. Up next, we have an event that you can find in any of the first 3 acts, called the Golden Shrine. First off, you can gain 100 gold just by praying, no cost to you, 50 gold if you're on higher Ascension levels. Or if you'd like to take the option that gets you 275 gold, you do gain a curse, Regret. That one can actually hurt if you have a big deck and you're not playing very many cards, or if you have things that keep cards in your inventory, in your hand. However, I personally find the 275 gold very worth it. Next up, we have another one that you find only in Act 1, World of Goop. And you have the option to gain 75 gold at the cost of 11 hit points. Or, if you can't manage to lose 11 hit points right now, you're going to lose between 20 and 50 gold on lower Ascension levels, 35 to 75 gold on higher Ascension levels. Up next, we have another event that you only find in Act 1, the Serpent. The Serpent, which gives you the option of 175 gold at the cost of 1 curse. Doubt here. This is a fun one as far as lore goes. The Serpent is asking you a question, the most fulfilling of lives is that in which you can buy anything. Basically, money makes you happy. If you agree, you are now doubtful of your decision. 175 gold is worth it, especially early on. You can go to a shop and get rid of that for 75 and you still net 100 gold. Next, we have a pretty rare and potentially pretty powerful event that you find in Act 1 or 2, which is the Face Trader event. First of all, if you don't like gambling, you can lose some health to gain 75 or 50 gold, depending on your ascension levels. However, if you choose the trade option, you're going to receive a mask relic, and most of these are pretty powerful. You get the Cleric, which is going to give you 1 max hit point after every combat. The Serpent Head is going to give you 50 gold every time you enter a question room. There are also 2 bad options. You get the Gremlin Visage, which is going to give you 1 week every combat at the start. Or you can get Inloth's Hungry Face, which is going to make the next non-boss chest you open empty. The Face Trader event is also where you find my personal favorite relic in the entire game, the Cultist Headpiece. Which reminds me, if you like what you're seeing so far, everyone say it with me, caw-caw, down in the comments, please. If you'd like to join the cult of Caw, hit the subscribe button, and hit that thumbs up like button as well so that we can spread the cult to others and get more caw-caws in the future. Next up, we have the Wheel of Change. He's going to make you play his game, spin the wheel, and get a reward. You have 4 options that are good. You can get gold, you can get a relic, you can get a heal, or you can remove a card from your deck. And there are 2 options that are bad, but it seems to be that they land on those options more than the others. The purple hole is a curse, and the red splatter, of course, is going to deal some damage to you. There's no way out of this one. If you pull it up, or if you encounter this, then you gotta spin the wheel. No way out. Here we're going to move into the events that give you relics. So first up, we have Ronwood here. He actually gives you 3 different options on ways that you can purchase a relic from him. You can give him a potion, you can give him some gold, or you can give him a card. You don't get to choose, the game chooses for you what you're going to give up here. If you really don't want to do any of those, you can choose attack, and he's just going to run away and call you a jerk. But definitely worth it to get a free relic here, unless you really can't afford to lose whatever it is that you have to give up. Next up, we have the Ominous Forge, which gives you a free card upgrade for 1 card in your deck. Or you can get a special relic, the Brass Tongs, which will upgrade 1 card every turn for the remainder of combat, of course, not for the remainder of the run. Now, this one's a pretty rough curse. It deals 1 damage to you every time you play a card, so definitely prioritize getting rid of that. Next up, we have another Act 1 only event called Big Fish. You get to choose between 3 different options here. You can get 22 free health, you can get +5 max health, or you can grab a relic, but you're going to get the Curse of Regret. I personally typically pick Donut here. 5 extra max hit points is pretty powerful. Next up, we have the Dead Adventurer. I've covered this in some of my other videos, so feel free to go check that out, especially in the... Next up, we have the Dead Adventurer, another Act 1 only event. I covered this pretty thoroughly in my video here about taking down Act 1 elites, so if you'd like to learn more, be sure to check that out later. Another fight event found only in Act 1. Basically an elite fight that doesn't count as an elite, but you do get a relic from it, is the Angry Mushrooms. So first of all, you have the option to heal 17 hit points, become Cursed Parasite. It's a pretty mild curse, other than the fact that it does like fill up your deck with a curse. But so long as you don't get rid of it, you don't end up losing that hit point. If you do Anger the Mushrooms, you're going to take on 3 of the dead rat mushroom guys. It's actually a pretty difficult fight a lot of times early on in Act 1, so approach with care. If you do end up beating them, however, you are going to be rewarded with the Odd Mushroom, which means you're only going to take 25% more damage when you're vulnerable instead of the normal 50. Scrap Ooze is another way to sometimes get a free early on relic. You have to click reach inside every time until it actually decides to give you one, and a lot of times you get one within the first 2 to 3 clicks, but you can end up racking up a ton of damage here if the game decides it really doesn't want to give you a relic. Moving on into some random events that don't necessarily all match up with each other. First, we have the Shining Light. It gives you 2 free upgrades, or sorry, not free. It gives you 2 upgrades at the cost of 14 hit points. Next, we have the Woman in Blue, who has their little potion shop. You can buy 1, 2, or 3 potions for a specific amount of gold. This woman is rather demanding, so if you decide you don't want a potion, you're actually going to take a hit. Next up, we have another little game from our gremlin friend here. We have a matching game. You match any 2 cards on the table, and you're going to get whatever those cards are. There's usually at least 1 rare card in here, and at least 1 cursed, and then a couple others. So be careful, or you could end up getting a lot of curses. Next we have the Lab. The Lab is going to give you a couple of free potions. No cost to you. Here we get my favorite potion, the Cultist Potion. You can also find the Upgrade Shrine throughout your run. It's going to give you a free upgrade card of your choice, not a random one. Definitely worth doing. I don't know why you would ever not do this. And finally, we have the Transmogrifier. The Transmogrifier is going to allow you to transform a card of your choice. Now, you don't get to choose what it transforms into, that's still random, but you do get to choose which card gets transformed. That's going to wrap things up today for the Act 1 events. If you'd like, over here on the left is going to be the option to see the entirety of the Slay the Spire playlist. I would go and check that out. There's some other videos I've put out as far as taking down the Act 1 elites, achievement hunting I've done, other things you might find interesting. And then on the right over here, you're going to see whatever YouTube thinks you should watch next. I do appreciate you guys watching, leaving those caw-caws in the comments section. And thank you all once again for watching. And I'll see you next time.